The Indiana Fever, like, they don't deserve for me to even turn on my lighting. They don't deserve for me to turn on my lighting. Heck, I'm going to be honest. I don't even think the Indiana Fever deserve for me to use my main camera. I'm using the backup camera here. We are going Blair Mick project on this. We're going Blair Mick project. Like, we are one more L. We are one more bad L if we lose to the Sky away from me going back to, if you guys don't know, there's my old leap card, which is my bus pass. We are one L away from me going back to me using my phone. I'm going to bring back a Logitech C920 or something. Like, I'm going to have a phone. I'm going to put water on my lens or something, because that's all the Indiana Fever deserve. And you want to know what else the Indiana Fever deserve? The Indiana Fever deserve to be the laughing stock of the WNBA because of all the crap they pulled in preseason. The Connecticut Sun. Hashtag now you know with the two, or what's it, small? Like quiet. Or is that just a quiet? And yeah, they beat them without Caitlin Clark and with two players injured. They beat them with Caitlin Clark and two players injured. Yeah, they did that. But they still won the game. The Indiana Fever talked up such a big game. They talked up such a big game this year. And getting shaded by, we are getting shaded by the Connecticut Sun. We are getting shaded by a team. Oh, that was what Tina Charles did. We are getting, like, the Fever are getting, I'm not even going to say sneak dissed, very openly dissed by a team who lost their entire starting five, lost their coach to Indiana, lost one of their all-stars to Indiana, don't have a training facility, and were 0-5. They just lost to the Wings by 20 points. And they're out here, now you know. Now you know. The Indiana Fever, at the worst, when it comes to the Indiana Fever, if they stay this garbage for the whole year, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But, like, this team is so garbage. This team is so garbage. But they had the whole Now You Know campaign, and it's just not been smart. It's just not been smart. Like, they went out there and flexed. They flexed that they have 3 in the top 25. They were flexing that they had, I'm pretty sure they were flexing that they had 3 of the top 35 scorers in the WNBA. They were flexing that. They were flexing, 5 of the top 35 scorers. They were flexing. They were like, no team has this. You lose one of those players, you still have 4 of them on your team. You still have 4 of the top 35 scorers last year, and you can't score the basketball. Like, what is that? And lads, the Fever deserve it. The Fever deserve the ridicule. When you come out like this, when you come out with this type of a campaign, you have to be big enough and bold enough to take the heat when it doesn't work out. You have to be. Simple as that. You have to be big enough and bold enough. This is not a moment. What is it? This is not a moment. It's a movement. Well, I'm sorry. This team sucks without Caitlin Clark. I got the Fever, my big 3. Went down a rabbit hole, YouTube videos about Caitlin Clark. Cannot wait for the new season to start. Go Indiana Fever, best show in America. Man, even with Caitlin Clark, this isn't the best show in America. They just walk the ball up the floor. They just walk the ball on the floor. Up the floor. It is like they play boring basketball even with I was going to call her. Even with Caitlin Clark, they play boring basketball. Stephanie White. Stephanie White, while talking about Stephanie White, I'm obviously going to I've ranted about that on my stream, which will be out a little bit later. But like all of these people, like they don't, this Indiana Fever team right now, this Indiana Fever coach, I'm not saying about the players. The players deserve your support. The players deserve your support, but I don't think this coach deserves your support. I don't think she does, because everything she says is a lie. And I'm sorry, the backup camera, like the shine is even hurting my eyes. So we're going with no light and we're on our actual camera. But like, I don't think all Stephanie White has done is just lied. Put Fever Rising back in your bio. Can't wait for the season any longer. Like, that is what it was. They had the Now You Know campaign. Learn more about Now You Know. They're talking about being, you know, the head of women's sports, being like this huge thing. Well, you know what? Their front office did a terrible job in the offseason. They did a terrible job in the offseason recruiting. And I by the way, I think Natasha Howard was the first big domino to fall. I don't hate the Natasha Howard signing. I like the DeWanna Bonner signing. It is the Sid Colson and Bree Turner signings. The Sid Colson signing made sense at the time. I didn't hate the Sid Colson signing at the time when it was made on the day. But if you watch a week later, I'm like, as soon as her contract got announced, it wasn't a minimum. I'm like, Sid Colson is the reason why this team doesn't have 12 players. Which is a fact. Sid Colson's contract is the reason why the team didn't have 12. And they did a horrible job. And they pulled the not 5, not 6, not 7. And the Connecticut Sun are making fun for him. It's as simple as that. They pulled the LeBron James, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade celebration. Do I think the Indiana Fever win a ring? Yes, at some stage. Do I think the Fever win this year? No. Do I think anybody other than Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Lexi Hull should be on this team next year? As of right now, no. I think Sophie Cunningham has had a few poor games. I don't think she's been that bad. If she signs a bargain contract, she's fine off the bench. I don't think if DeWanna Bonner wants to sign on a cheap deal, if she wants to sign on a cheap deal, we're okay then. But I don't think she's going to want to sign on a cheap deal. I think she might want to go and just play with Alyssa Thomas for a year. Otherwise, I just don't know. I just don't even know how to say it. But the Connecticut Sun, you guys got the last laugh. And yes, you did beat a team with no players. But I'm sorry. You have to laugh at it. If you're gonna be as loud as the Fever were, in preseason, it's their Super Bowl game after they lost to the Fever. If you're gonna be as loud as the Fever were in the offseason, they deserve it. I tweeted out they deserve this after all the talk in preseason. Like they do. Simply put, they do. Like you cannot say Now You Know this is a movement when you take one player on the team and you still have 4 of the best top 35 scorers from last year. You can't win. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.